Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another session of Dragonmark Symphony here on Natural One Media. My name is Dylan. I am your DM for the evening. Here with my friends. We got a couple people not available for today, but that's okay. We're going to keep on rolling along. Besides, I'm sure that everybody who is here today is perfectly capable of recapping everything that happened last time. So we're going to start with you, Marshall. What happened in our previous session?
Oh boy. Man, are we really bad to start with me when I'm trying to double check the stream settings.
I picked the producer.
Also, man, did things happen the last time? We talked to Trist. Trist showed up. He had some hats
That's
for us.
true. Yeah.
Hats of disguise for us.
Very helpful. That fellow. Very helpful indeed.
No ulterior motives.
Friend of the party.
What you see is what you get.
Yep.
That's the Trist motto.
Yep.
Yes, 100% accurate.
Take a penny, leave a penny, you know? But Jade, why did you need these hats of disguise in the first place?
Oh, well, the Warforged went super nuts, especially number one. Well, should I say number three? Warforged of the area took over the entire place and has a bunch of people hostage, most notably people in the medical camp, which may or may not include somebody very important.
Oh, it's a bummer. Man, that's a real shame. Somebody ought to do something about that.
Somebody should.
That's going to require some kind of a strategy. Kevin, what is that strategy? What are we going to do now?
We're going to join up with the people in the keep. The Citadel. There are people that are planning on mounting an attack, and we're going to join up with those people and work out a strategy. I don't know if we had decided how we were actually going to get to the Citadel, considering that the bridges are guarded. I think we had talked about a secret entrance, but it's only accessible through the water, so we didn't know exactly how we were going to do that.
Correct.
But I believe that's where we left off.
Yeah, essentially, I think the concept to help a little bit. I think part of the concept was that we would be able to get to some type of sewer access area or whatever, and be able to try to get there without being harassed by wearing these hats.
Right.
But yes, I believe the goal was find some type sewer access, because there's one just right around or outside of the Citadel.
Yeah, and the entrance would be by the blacksmith, I believe we had talked about. Yeah.
That's
excellent. And so, with that plan in motion, our brave heroes began to step out the door, with Marshall taking the first stealth roll and rolling a 12. Now, we find out what the result of that was.
Right, that's exactly where we left off.
Well, that's the thing. It's mostly just about the stealth is less really trying to sneak and a lot more just
stepping out into
really just trying to not look
city.
Conspicuous.
Oh, you're not trying to look conspicuous, right? Sure. I suppose that's fair. To that point, what did you disguise yourself as in order to not look inconspicuous?
A young. I essentially made myself look like a young, human child in a witch costume.
Yes.
Yeah, completely inconspicuous.
Happy Halloween!
I came from Victoria Skeevel's place. I have exactly what I need to point to.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Valid.
I was like,
Listen.
why are you dressed like a witch? I came from Skeevils.
Listen, you see a hipster walk out of a coffee shop, you're not really gonna do a double take, you know? It's one of those things. Speaking of hipsters, Jade, what did Nathaniel choose for their inconspicuous
If
form?
I came out
Wait,
of the
speaking of hipsters.
brewery in Lederhosen, then they wouldn't have questioned me either.
Guten
I
Tag.
chose a priest of the local chapel.
Which chapel specifically?
I don't remember.
I thought
It
you
was
said
the
Vol for a
church-
second, and I was gonna be like, I don't know if that's what you wanted.
We made this joke last session.
Not want the bullet of Vol as your disguise.
We made that exact joke
I
last
think
session.
that's why I don't remember. There's my thing, there's that thing, and then the one I actually chose, and I couldn't.
No. So you are a disguised as a priest. That is a member of the Church of the Silver Flame.
Oh, fine.
Hipster. Okay, so
I should probably actually write Overflame.
Silva rolled a 12 on her stealth check. And now the other two of you get to roll stealth checks as well.
Yeah, I'll roll stealth.
Because the inherent benefit of my disguise, I can either, if they're like, you have this child, they're out, I can be like, I'm a halfling. Then if they're like, why aren't you doing anything, or like you like they are, or like doing something of like essentially the effect of like essentially having me do anything, I can be like, I'm a child. Perfect.
I got a 22.
Does the hat
Dude, nice.
negate my disadvantage on stealth, or is that still a thing?
I'll let
Still
you
a
just
thing.
roll a flat stealth check on this.
Okay.
I will be kind, as I often am.
Okay, that's a 4 then.
Excellent. Glad we cleared that up.
That was so close to a natural 1. Holy shit.
All right.
Look, I wouldn't want to roll badly. I need to make sure I don't have disadvantage.
So now that we have that settled, here's the skabob and the defangle. I need you to decide who is gonna roll for Dak and Johannes respectively. One person roll for Dak, one person roll for Johannes. You have 30 seconds to determine somebody, or I roll for them with disadvantage. Go.
I will
I got
roll for
that.
Johannes.
Perfect. I got Dak, you got it, Johannes. Done and
Cool.
done.
See, that's teamwork. That's teamwork right there. Go ahead and roll.
All right, for
I rolled a
Dak,
14. I
it's-
don't know what his
yeah,
modifier
also
is.
a 14. Plus, whatever their modifier is.
All right. 14 and a 14.
I think Johannes has like just slightly lower modifier than I do, so his is also
I
going to
believe
be
so.
in
I'm
the
pretty
20s.
sure you win the tie last time.
Yeah, I do believe he is less rogue than you are. I think if there was any kind of a debate, it could very easily be said that Johannes is half the rogue
Aha!
that you are in every situation. But regardless, you all make your way out into the city streets. Where you are on the southwestern side of town, it is oddly quiet out as you step out into the road. Do you wish to stick to the buildings as much as possible and sort of weave your way through them? Or do you want to just move on the open road, heading straight for your destination?
I feel like in this situation, sticking to the buildings would actually be the least conspicuous thing to do.
I actually agree.
Like, if we're out and about, there's Warforged that have taken over the castle. Like, you're not just going to stroll down the street if you need to go outside. You're going to kind of sneak around and not try to be seen.
Fair play.
It's not looking like we're trying to hide or like we're trying to sneak to specific things. It's more like we're fearing for our lives kind of sneaking.
Absolutely.
Not
Hiding
sneaking
in
with
plain
negative
sight.
purpose.
So yeah, stick to the buildings, I think.
All right. As a group, you begin sort of weaving your way through these buildings, keeping in mind your destination where you need to go. Silently creeping in between them. You manage to make it about a block or two heading eastward. When suddenly, Nathaniel, you feel somebody reach out and grab your arm and pull you into a side alley.
Oh boy.
I need Set and Silva to make perception checks for me to see if they notice this happen.
11.
And Silva?
Sorry?
Perception check.
Silent. Looks like I'm using this. This never goes wrong for me. I had 10.
You both just make it. DC was 10. Both of you notice that a large hand and arm, the hand is gloved, it's wearing like a leather glove, and an arm fully clothed grabs Nathaniel's shoulder and roughly pulls him into the alleyway suddenly.
I'll double back and follow into that alley.
Okay. As you do, you hear from within the alleyway somebody go, "Shh! Back behind us, come on!" And as you're going in to see where Nathaniel's pulled it into, you all see now that there is a small group of Townsguard huddled in the alleyway. They're all crouched down on the ground, leaned up against the wall. Two of them have these like large like spears in hand. One of them has like a short sword, and they're just sort of like crouched in wait. The one at the very front of the group sort of waves to all of you like, in behind us, hide.
Okay, I'll kind of gesture to everyone and I'll start heading that way towards them, at least. Still very much on guard against them, but
As you kind of filter into the alleyway and move in with them, the third guard in kind of looks to you all and says, "What are you doing out and about? It's dangerous to be out there. We're being attacked."
yeah, we're trying to get together with one of our other friends. We were separated, so we're just trying to get back together with them. They were not super far away, so we figured we would be able to just you know, duck around a little bit and be able to get there without attracting too much notice.
The guard at the very front goes, "Hang on, I see something. Everyone down." You see all the guards noticeably tense up and kind of brace themselves against the wall, just waiting. And then you hear footsteps from around the corner. Heavy, plodding footsteps. Boom, 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 boom. You hear them getting closer and closer. Boom, 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 boom. And then they stop. And you hear nothing. the guard at the front. Maybe they left. And a large metallic hand reaches around the corner, grabs the guard, slamming the head into the ground with a horrible smash.
Straight up just mixed Mr. X shit.
kicking up rock and dust. A splash of blood cascading across the brick wall next to you. From above you, a horrible klaxon-like noise. And as you look up, you see, standing on the roof above, 3 or 4 Warforged peer over the edge and look down upon you, eyes glowing a horrible red. The remaining guards, one of them, the one with the short sword, lunges up to try and help his fellow guard, who is currently just face in impact with ground, being held there. The other 2 guards bring their spears up, turn them around, and aim and attempt to throw at the Warforged up above. One of them turns to all of you and says, "Run! You have to run! You have to go right now!"
Don't have to tell us twice. Get the fuck out of here.
We always want to help them, but we will blow so many other things if we do.
I'm in place. Pick your battles.
No, absolutely piece the
We'll make
fuck
so
out.
many more things worse if we help them, unfortunately. So away we go.
All right. So you take off, you bolt off running, you go past the first guard, smashed into the ground. The Warforged holding them in place doesn't even get up to stop you. As you run by, the head rotates around 180 degrees fully, and it says to you all with a metallic sneer, "You can run. We'll always find you." And you continue on your way, bursting outward. You hear these klaxon-like noises in the distance and the sound of metallic footsteps smashing on the ground. Boom, 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 boom. The scraping as something claws along the buildings and leaps from them. The sound of screams pick up again somewhere off in the distance. And you begin to see there, stray Warforged, hearing the klaxon noise being brought to their attention as they begin to look in your vicinity. You're gonna have to get out of there and fast, which means it's time,
The duel.
once again, for a skill
go.
challenge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hell yes. Oh boy, am I not equipped for one of these.
fuck.
On the off chance that this is your first time watching Natural One Media or this campaign, allow me to explain how this skill challenge will work. Our players will be rolling initiative, much like they would in regular combat. However, when it is their turn, instead of having their normal actions and bonus actions available to them, they will have to choose one of their skills that is available on their character sheet and implement it in some way into the action that they wish to perform. They will then have to roll to see if they succeed or fail on that skill check. Once a player has used a skill check, they cannot use it again, and the person immediately following them cannot use that same skill either. On the screen, you see that there's this sort of wishbone configuration like board. Every time one of the players succeeds on their skill, a golden token will be added to the board. If they fail, a red token will be added. If the players can build up enough successes to get their gold tokens all the way up to the very tippy top, then they will succeed in the skill challenge entirely. If they don't, and the red tokens reach there first, well, I guess we'll find out. Skill challenge is in place. You all know what to do. Players, roll initiative.
I rolled a
I
natural
will be
20.
rolling initiative for the characters that are not here. That's great. Excellent.
Yeah, natural 20 for a 25.
Natural 25. I didn't even know they went that high. I have a 9.
Right behind you with a 7.
All right, so Set's 25. We have Silva at 7. Nathaniel was at 9. There we go. Okay, so our order is going to be, it'll be Set, followed by Johannes, then Nathaniel, then Dak, then Silva.
Ooh, rolling an 8.
There we go. Okay. So, first up, Set. What would you like to do?
I will utilize. I mean, I'll use stealth as my skill. Just as we're darting across town, just maximizing use of whatever shadows are being cast by the buildings and stuff to, break line of sight from their Warforged as best as possible.
Some music in there. Almost forgot. There we go. All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll for that stealth check.
That is a 15.
A 15 is a success. You use your knowledge of hiding in the shadows to be able to conceal yourself. And you are confident as you make your way and maneuver that you have not yet been seen by any of the Warforged that are slowly beginning to appear around everyone. All right, that is a success. That is a token on the board. Boop. Okay. Next up, we have Johannes. So this is the tricky part. I am going to allow the three of you to determine what skill Johannes should use. But I will be making the roll.
What did you use again?
I used stealth.
So probably acrobatics, right? To really get around. I'd like to imagine he probably has good rolls in Dex.
Yeah, I mean that would be my guess too. I also don't necessarily think it's something that I think we would put anyone else into doing, or at least whoever would be. Forgot who's after him. Yeah.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you're probably not planning an acrobatics check.
No.
Yeah, I think acrobatics should be pretty good.
All right. So we'll have Nathaniel go ahead, we'll have Johannes go ahead and make a acrobatics check. You all see Johannes with depth agility begins to go into like something of like a cartwheel almost, flips over and sort of hops up, and like leaps up into the air and kind of waves his arms, and one of the warforged that was beginning to take notice of the group focuses in on him instead, drawing their attention away from the rest of you, with another success on the board. All right. Next up, Nathaniel.
Okay. I would like to use perception to see how many there are and how close they are.
Very good. Go ahead and roll.
All right, that is a 23.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was really hoping that Johannes wouldn't do perception.
So this is gonna necessitate. We gotta do. All right, we're gonna go back over to the rope map because you rolled that good. So here's the deal. So y'all were like about like here-ish, you know.
We hadn't gotten too far.
On that roof were 4 warforged. On the roof, there was one in the alleyway attacking that guard. As you've made your way back out into the main road again, there are 7 warforged on the roofs adjacent to you from the northern side. And there are another 6 on your, in this case, it'd be on your right, so on the southern side.
So there and like down here.
Yeah. And they are spread apart from each other. Most of them are like they're on like separate roofs from each other, sort of spread out.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. Next up, after that resounding success, y'all are doing great so far. Y'all are doing just fine. Honestly, I feel like y'all are gonna pull through this with flying colors. I can't see anything.
Don't jinx it.
As we add on that token, I mean, you're halfway there. That's
Yeah.
You know, you're halfway there. You're doing pretty good. So next up is Dak. So you can please choose a skill for Dak, and then I will roll for.
What does Dak lean towards, like
I knew
stat
this was coming
wise?
after we did Johannes. I know
sorcerer,
nothing
so-
about his stats.
He's a sorcerer, so he's got
Yeah.
charisma. I assume he's got shit in charisma.
We could probably do deception then. If Johannes is up there distracting, we could probably have Dak do something similar.
Yeah. Deception.
Throw a rock.
Something.
Like when it's like when Frodo throws the bag of mushrooms to distract the Nazgul.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing deception then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So Dak is going to. You know what? I get to do something.
Oh, he has a negative in something.
I'm going to check his inventory.
Does he have rock?
He's got shit in his pockets. Like
He's got a fucking
Dude is a
donut.
I was just gonna say he does have a donut, but knowing Franny, he might be really
can't-
bummed out if I make
You
him
can't get rid of the
his
donut. Franny
I
has
feel-
to
I
be
feel
the
like
one
that'd be
to
a
remove
real-
the donut.
He'd be very upset with me if I did that. I'll have him toss one of his rations.
yeah,
I'm sure he has
That's
no
pretty
problem with losing a ration.
He's got a
He's got a
donut.
donut.
He can make up for
Yeah.
it.
He has a ration. It's his donut.
His donut from like 4 days ago.
I'm gonna have him roll.
Not only that,
There
but it was
can't
like a
be any
jelly
frosting
donut,
left
wasn't
on
it?
that thing.
Well, not only that, wasn't it like a jelly donut or something?
I cannot remember. I thought it was frosted, but
I know it was.
it
Yeah, that is
very
for sure.
well,
Absolutely.
very
was.
well could have been.
I don't think we know because it was one of those mystery donuts.
Well, it was frosted though, for sure.
Yes, it
That
was
is
frosted.
absolutely the case.
It's
'Cause
just the
that
question
was-
of whether it is still frosted or not.
Yeah, no, because the fact that it was frosted is what made me so irate about it.
I remember that. Yep.
Like I was like just
I remember that.
upset because it was frosted. If it wasn't frosted, that would have been a thing. 'Cause it wouldn't have been a huge thing because it's just like, yeah, all right, sure. Like it's gross, but you know the worst thing is just gonna maybe be some sugary bits and some dough, just kind of crumbs. But but when it was frosted, it was ooh. Oh, that's a lot of grossness in there.
So here's what happens.
Okay.
Dak got a 9 total. Dak, you see Dak reach into their pockets. They pull out a wrapped up ration, and they go, "Oh, I don't know if this will work, but I can try." Robots, take this, and throws it. And it kind of he flings it through the air, and it arches in the air in this wide arc, and just strikes a pigeon flying by, and they both fall to the ground like meteors, doing absolutely nothing to distract the Warforged. It is unfortunately
no.
a failure. And also
Silver
just
lining,
a
One
lost
less
ration.
pigeon.
One less rat with wings.
Hey, don't be talking smack about pigeons.
No, pigeons.
They will get
pigeons
rid
are
of
fine.
all the government
We
drones.
made pigeons the way they are.
Oh, here we
Pigeons are
go
fine.
with the pigeon gentrification. Here we go again.
What are you talking about?
Don't
I
be
didn't do
bad
anything.
mouthing pigeons. We did it to them. Whatever state they're in now is because of us.
There's only one true
Alright.
answer. Get rid of mankind.
Yeah,
Alright.
that is the only
Alright.
logical and sound answer to that.
We're working on it. Silva, it is now your
We're
turn.
working on it. Okay. We've utilized spell stuff before as like for Arcana, right?
I believe we have.
Previous skill challenges, yes, yeah.
I believe there was some spell work allowed when you were escaping from the apartment complex there.
Okay.
Mhm. Dak specifically like froze or set something on fire or something.
Yeah.
Double checking stuff here. Is throwing a making something smell like skunk. I don't think it's gonna draw attention away or do anything
The robot people?
to the
Yeah, I don't think they'll care.
war force.
Only for MC5 fans, you know.
But it is just labeled as a harmless sensory effect, so I could still conceptually, like, the sounds of footsteps inherently still qualifies under that. It is harmless, and it is in fact a sensory effect.
Yeah.
They are just examples that were given, not strict guidelines.
Alright, so what are you looking to do?
So we'll do Arcana with the sounds of footsteps going down a different alleyway.
Excellent. So here's what you're gonna do. I need you to make the footstep sounds in real life, and I will add a +1 to your roll.
Gotta Gotta get something that has like hard surface.
Right. Good acoustics.
Yeah, I mean it's gotta sound pitter patter.
It's not his guitar.
It's gotta sound like gotta be going down the road. There's many of us. Gotta sound like many things, and they fade down.
It's giving 30-second river dance. Go ahead and roll your Arcana check there.
+1. Oh,
Yes, you do.
the distraction. Do I see where that dice went? I gotta clean that my desk. It is a fucking, especially before Friday.
Yeah, you're not gonna have time on Friday for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Friday's
gonna-
Pokemon Day.
I'll just add one.
I'm gonna be spamming you constantly with photos of me and my Pokemon. You're not
22.
gonna have any time. That is a 22. Excellently done. You activate the spell, and all of you hear kind of this syncopated pitter patter of footsteps occurring off into another alleyway. One of the Warforged turns and goes, "Claw dancers over there," and like zooms off over towards them.
Claw
A few more
dancers?
of the Warforged like leap across the buildings to get over to there, going, "We have to stop them!" As they rush off into another adjacent alleyway and are gone. You've reduced the numbers.
River dance.
You reduce the numbers as they chase
Flatley
the understudies on the local theater production of Stomp, hoping to silence them. But that is a success. It is a resounding success.
Oh, fuck.
They've attained multiple victories.
You have. Okay. So that is another token. I have y'all back on here? Yes, I do. Okay. Everybody can still see. So you are now at 4 successes. It is now the Warforged's turn.
Right.
Go the other way. The bunch of headphones are about, bunch of cords are about to be fucked up. Like that answer. Told my dog there was 12 more minutes before dinner and she left.
Only 12 minutes.
Like, how dare you?
So now that every Warforged has rolled,
Oh god.
you all see as the Warforged that were originally on the adjacent building, the one that was the one that you were originally crouched next to with the guards, they leave that roof, jettisoning off the rooftop, and coming down to ground level now. They are swiveling their heads around, seemingly searching for you, looking, watching. And one of them does catch you running on the other side, makes a motion to you, and lets out this like guttural string of consonants and syllables that doesn't make a lot of sense to you. But the other Warforged immediately turn and look and begin to move in your direction as well.
I was around during the dial-up days. I remember.
That is a success. Another of the Warforged manages to... You hear the sounds of yelling and shouting back off from the direction that you came from, and you see two of the guards bodily thrown from the alleyway, smashing into the street itself, rolling like rag dolls until they just come to a stop in the middle of the road, motionless. As one of the Warforged succeeds in physically throwing them to their death. And so that is another success for the Warforged.
Do they have their own chart? I like to think
Which
that instead
chart?
of like, it's just because you worded it as a success for the Warforged rather than like a failure on us. It makes it sound like essentially there's their own, the Warforged have their
They
own
have
skill
their own that
chart,
they're
skill
using.
challenge chart, and if they fail before we succeed, we still win.
Unfortunately not the case.
Damn it.
But yeah, those were the two successes that they got in. So now we're gonna go back to the top of the round as we return back to stat.
So, I am going to utilize sleight of hand to take my bag of ball bearings and scatter them on the road behind us, in between us and the Warforged.
All right. Sleight of hand. We love when ball bearings get used. All right, go ahead and roll.
That is a dirty 20.
Wow, y'all are rolling good tonight. You scatter the ball bearings across the ground. You hear them like almost like shaking a rainmaker tube, just like as they bounce across the floor. One of the Warforged that has begun like fast striding up to you. The base of the foot connects with one of the balls and slips forward, and they just like quap style, just like fall forward, collapsing onto the ground. The other Warforged stop and take notice and hesitate, giving you all an extra second to be able to run even further. As that is yet another success. Y'all are on the cusp of victory here.
Straight boom.
We're on the edge of glory.
Okay. It is now. It is Johannes' turn.
Yeah. What
He should
do
probably
we
just-
have him do?
He felt the stealth, right?
Failed.
No, he succeeded on his.
He did acrobatics, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you
but
did sleight of hand.
did.
So the best chance would be stealth,
yes.
theoretically.
Yes, yes. That is available to.
Yeah, I think that's a good go-to then.
All right. So we're gonna have Johannes stealth. Johannes, unfortunately, as he is sort of stealthing along with the group, his pouch of spices that he had purchased recently, the magical pouch that allows him to pull any spice from it, slips out of one of his pockets and falls to the ground. And in a panic, he stops in place, turns around, and grabs it. But as he goes to do so, there is a thunk as the pigeon that got hit earlier, falling from the sky, lands on Johannes's head, knocking him prone to the ground. That is a failure.
Fuck.
We are really in the wire now.
It's really unfortunate. He has a +6 to stealth, but he rolled a 3.
Ooh.
Real unfortunate on that. All right, Nathaniel. It is your
Listen,
turn.
check to make sure Johannes is okay. Get him up and get him going.
Said medicine check. All right, no man left behind. Go ahead and roll it.
Come on.
18.
Sorry, what was I only caught the end of that.
18.
18. All right.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed. Years of healing experience at your disposal. You, without a moment's hesitation, whip around. You catch Johannes as they are falling. Help them up onto their feet. Give them a nice little arcane pet. And just sort of brush the pigeon carcass aside.
It died?
They, it got hit by a ration in the air and then crashed into a person on the ground.
Okay, hold on. We need to know, do we think Dak would take the pigeon with him?
What?
I think he would.
That is an important question.
I
He would
honestly
take the
think that
pigeon
Dak
with?
would take the pigeon. If he had a chance to, I think Dak would take the pigeon.
He would absolutely scoop the pigeon body up.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he? I'll make a note.
So we have him roll a nature
Franny's
check.
gonna love us for this.
So,
No, we haven't
you
do
lost a
animal
ration,
handling.
But you still have your donut and a pigeon. It's dead
You know
pigeon,
what?
but you have a pigeon.
You lost a ration, you gained a
I'm
pigeon.
I'm not gonna
Basically
lie.
the same thing.
If it's a little meta, but inherently this is what you have to do. This is kind of part of not knowing someone's character sheet. If I recall, I believe Dak's wisdom is shit, so animal handling may not be the best decision.
Oh, I mean that's our last success though.
Yeah, that's
True,
the
we
thing.
do get one failure, and then I can
If
bring
we,
it in.
If we were,
I can bring it
if
home.
we weren't at the last success, like I absolutely would have had him roll an animal handling on that.
we
Yeah,
do
but
get
already succeeded.
we do get 2 more failures, so, or at least we have 1 safe failure, I should say. We have 1 safe failure remaining.
Well, no, we did all of the successes.
Is that right there?
Oh.
Yep, there we go. We made it to the medicine check success from
The map
Jade.
was not updated. I thought it was
I
updated.
had not updated the map yet. Yep.
Okay.
I had not updated the map
That's what had confused me.
No,
Yet.
I interrupted him with the pigeon talk.
So with that, as you get Johannes upright and you are all able to continue, you manage to the combination of the ball bearings that have been laid out, the distraction of the other guards, all of it works in your favor as you are able to zip back in to another alleyway and kind of make your way around until you are now fully out of sight of the Warforged and they have lost track of you and you are no longer in sight as you succeed. Go challenge.
Woo!
We haven't died.
We fucking knocked that out of the park, I feel like.
That went very well.
I
Absolutely.
would say we knocked it out of the park if we didn't have as many failures.
I mean, we only had 2.
but
2 of those failures were from the Warforged.
That's true.
oh, I guess valid.
All right. So, you are now out of sight of the Warforged. Once again, stealthing along the buildings. You can see, not too far off, maybe a block or 2 away, you see the familiar building that housed Theodore Sand, the local blacksmith. The building from where you're standing appears empty. There's nobody outside, at least. No sign of anybody. You don't see any sign of Theodore or anyone working with them. There doesn't seem to be anybody around.
Cool. I mean, continue our approach. Did Caspian was the one who said that there was a sewer entrance near the blacksmith, right?
He's the
I
one that
believe
gave
it
us
was.
the idea. Yes.
Yeah, I believe it was Caspian who had brought that in.
'Cause
Okay,
none of
so,
us would know.
Yeah.
I may have lived here at one point, but I'll tell you, I was not hanging around in the sewers. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't performing in the sewers. Yeah.
Caspian, where are we?
I was the
Like,
ghostwriter
where's the
for
sewer
Noble.
from?
I have standards.
Yeah. You
where's
you
the
may
sewer
have been off Broadway, but come on.
Yes, Caspian, where's this sewer entrance? You said it should be
There
around
should
here,
actually
right?
be it's like a steel round plate that's dug into the ground. We can open it up and there will be a ladder leading down into them.
Great. Just start looking around for it then.
All right. I want everybody to make perception checks. See if you can locate. No. Investigation checks. My apology.
I'm better at
Make
those.
That's
investigation
much
check.
better. 16.
Too good.
Yo.
At 20, 27.
Silva. Holy
I have
shit.
14. I am not better at investigation than perception.
Y'all
Wizard.
are killing it tonight. Y'all are picking up the slack.
God damn.
When it goes from perception to investigation, the cleric moans and the wizard cheers.
It just makes more sense. It just makes more sense.
No, absolutely.
It's funny. I love the dichotomy. Wizard, I think we should investigate this. Nah, I can just take a look, said the cleric.
If I don't see it, it don't exist, alright?
I'll tell you
What is
well,
it like it was like 3.0 dwarf trait where you could like detect like entrances in stone or something, and
Stone
you'd just be
cunning,
like,
yep.
just
Well,
reach
that
down,
was-
touch the ground, and
I think
go.
that was like that
It's
even was
50
like
feet ahead.
I think that even came from honestly I think that came even from AD&D. Like I think that led all the way up to I think 4th edition is when it disappeared.
Yeah.
But yeah, stone cunning was great.
Touches the
I
ground.
touched the
A battle
stone.
was fought here. The Alamo tour guide. Yeah.
Put my hand to the wall. Off dies. Also, there's a door over here.
Go into a cave dungeon. I'm just gonna have my hand on the wall at all times.
They say if you keep your hand to the wall and constantly move to turn right, that you'll find the way out.
I did
I
left.
found it. It's a miracle.
I've always heard a mix of right versus left for
I
finding
don't
your way
think
out of
it
the
actually
labyrinth.
matters because ultimately it is the same theory. It's just you keep going the same way and just
No, just
around.
the dwarf finds the developer door in the dungeon. Dwarf
Just a
puts
dog
hand to,
working the
the
controls.
dwarf puts hand to wall. Door opens. Boss dragon just like looks up from their like from like the stew they were making. Like, wait, you weren't supposed to get here for like another day. What happened? Where'd that door come from? I don't know. It was just here.
What'd that dragon do?
I wasn't ready. Shit. You
Okay.
just like wait for like a day.
So,
Result.
Sova, while you may not have spent a lot of your previous time hanging out in the sewers, you do recognize the sewer grates. And you're able to pick one out right by the water side, behind the blacksmith's
I just
there.
look at it and I'm like, damn, that shit stinks.
It's literally just like this round iron circle that is like implanted into the ground. And you point it out to the rest of the group.
Good old early times, you were great. Do you have 50,000 pounds to lift? Because that's how you get into that sewer grate.
Does it have like a handle or anything on it, or is it just like a sheer like?
It's almost sheer, and then there's like a very small little circle inside of it towards the edge.
Fun fact, I'll have you know, if I had decided to do the druid character I was debating with this campaign, I absolutely would have spent a lot of time in sewers.
Okay, let's head over there. Caspian, I think you're the strongest of our group. If you want to just get it up a little bit, I pull out my crowbar. I'll help like pry it once there's a
Give you
gap to be able
leverage.
to like leverage.
All right.
A help
I'm gonna
action,
have-
one might say.
Yeah, so we'll do. I'll have Caspian do a
I'll
strength
give
roll
you
with
an advantage on the capabilities to pull this crane up.
I would love it if you just walk around doing it everyday stuff. It's like, hey, yo, Jeremy, can you give me a strength check? Get that wood over here. Fred, give him the help action. Let's go.
We talk about let's not talk about Jeremy giving you a strength check on his wood, all right? Let's keep it PG here.
Hey, yo, Ron, why don't you help him with that wood?
Hey, Jimmy.
Oh man! All right. What did Caspian do? What Caspian doing?
What the
Ron, I've told
Caspian
you
doing?
100 times, all right? It's union code. You got to be in flanking position if you're gonna help Ron out with his work. Get in flanking position. You gotta be right across from him.
The sun in his eyes. We talked about this.
Oh fuck!
Make sure you get your hard hat on. All right. So Caspian
Let's do
reaches
this.
down. He is going to. He kind of like takes. He takes one of his hands, kind of like reaches down underneath, begins to pull up just a little bit. Set, you come in, you assist in helping to kind of pry the lid open, and once you pry it up a little bit more, it's like he is then able to get another hand further in underneath and actually push and lift up. And you are all able to see a dark hole. It's just darkness.
We need it. That's what we need. We'll sacrifice ourselves, but all the monsters will be destroyed.
Rest in peace.
I prefer Raigeki. Thank you.
Well, at least that one's unbanned. Actually, no, they're both unbanned.
Looks on you. I have white hole.
All right. Once we've got it opened up, I will just like start heading down there, grab onto. I assume with enough light we could see the top of the ladder, so we could grab onto that.
You can. It's like a couple feet down, weirdly enough, but there is the top of a. You start to see the rungs of a steel ladder descending down into the darkness.
So, question: when we get it open, does it like absolutely reek?
No.
Or is no great? As soon as I get down, I will pull out a torch and I will light it.
Is that what you're trying to get at? Does it fit the meth if we would explode?
You can smell meth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give
Yeah.
it that.
When it just immediately
It's a good thought,
combust.
but it's just very funny.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, it's a valid question.
I don't want to go down there
mean-
and then be like, I light my torch, and Dylan goes, "You all died, great."
I mean, to be frank, at least feces. Well, the methane from feces would not make an explosion. It would have to explicitly be the gas.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It would only do that if we were in some sort of fantasy magical land.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
It's a
if,
good thing we're not.
I don't know if natural methane gas is used in Eberron. That was more the point I was making.
I just wanted to
I'll,
make sure. I was just being safe.
I'll email Keith
Nope,
Baker and
it's-
ask him. I'll check.
For 1 second.
But yeah, no, like light a torch, work my way down.
Oh wait.
If like
Okay.
I'll get like a ways down. Is it your typical like just like almost rebar stuck into a wall
Yeah.
ladder?
Yeah, it is. It is very much like the type you see on like a window well, where it's just like a galvanized rung ladder. Very simple, just runs straight down.
I'll get a little ways down, kind of loop my arm in, light the torch, and then continue.
Okay.
So that I also get a little bit better view of how far down it is, but then everyone else coming down will also get a view of where the ladder actually is.
Sure. Absolutely. Are you going to, once you've lit your torch, are you just going to keep climbing down, continue to go down the ladder?
I want
So
to
the
make
rest
sure
of
that
you-
there's room for everyone else to start filing down
Right.
as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so the rest of you see Set begins climbing down, and after a moment stops, retrieves a torch so that it is now illuminated. All of you are able to now see the round brick slime covered walls of this deep dank hole that leads down into the sewers. And as Set continues to climb down, their light sort of illuminating as they go. Set, you find yourself climbing down for upwards of a minute and a half, 2 minutes,
A lot of rounds.
3 minutes, and now the walls finally begin to open up. And you find yourself, you see down below you finally solid ground, flat solid ground below you, a pure stone, and the end of the ladder reaching down to it.
Cool. I will hop down onto the ground and just continue hold the light up so that the others coming above me can see.
As your feet hit the ground, the sound of it echoes and reverberates off the walls. Your immediate surroundings, even with the torch, are extremely dark. It's difficult to see too much of anything. It is your dark vision, truly, that is giving you any kind of actual benefit in this situation.
Yep. Everyone's dark vision. We all have dark vision. Every one of us. Definitely
always
not
has dark
two
vision.
of this. Definitely the two small-sized creatures don't have dark vision. Nope, that's definitely not the case.
So clarification, actually, I don't have a torch. I have a lantern.
That's,
That is fine.
that's-
That is fine for the purposes of what
oh,
you've
now
been
you
doing.
explode.
Well, no, I mean it's a hooded lantern, so it says that you can. It's a 30-foot radius of bright light, regardless. But then you can put the hood on
Correct.
to
yeah.
reduce it to dim within 5 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that it is not a torch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also utilizes one of my oil flasks.
For the rest of you, until you decide to follow, if you do decide to follow, you see this lantern light slowly fade until it becomes nothing.
Are you dead?
Oh, I mean, I would have waited for them to continue following me.
Okay. I mean, yeah. If you
That's
give us
kind. I was
a,
kind of the.
I'm waiting for them to say they follow.
okay,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you give us a kind of note to follow, then we'll go ahead.
All right.
Just, I mean that. Yeah, that was kind of the intent of
Yeah,
lighting.
so
the
everybody,
light, like-
does file in. Yep. So you're able to keep the lantern raised to provide them with light as they're coming down. All of you.
The best part is
Make
while
your way
we're
down the
down
ladder.
here, I still can
Hold on.
technically fly.
Before we get too far, I want to make this a very point. I want to close the manhole behind us.
Oh,
You do that.
Okay. Absolutely. All right. You pull the manhole over top of you.
I'm fine being the last down the ladder, but that thing is closed.
Well, that's fine. You
It-
would be the only one
it
remaining
slides
probably
over.
that could do it. So
It slides over and shuts.
I needed to make that clear. Now continue.
And so now the five of you find yourselves at the bottom of the ladder. In near darkness, not total darkness. Near
Nearly
darkness with
How can it be nearly darkness?
multiple points, several walls around you at different distances, that are just like cold, slimy brick. You see what looks like it might have been the remnants of cobwebs, but have long since been flushed away from here. There's no sign of any kind of recent like bugs or insects that have populated it. It's all, everything has been like flushed away, so to speak. So all you see is stone.
and
What do you do?
I don't. I
So
mean,
it's just
if, as I say,
stone. Just continue walking, right?
I mean, don't necessarily have a map of down here.
Which way was the ladder facing? Like, it was it like, do we have two directions that we could go from the ladder, or
The ladder itself was facing due east. Stepping down from the ladder, north is a flat, it's a solid brick wall.
Okay.
East appears to be open. You could travel further east. Otherwise, you could also travel south. But there is another wall a little further back that is blocking off the west. So north and west are currently blocked off. South and east are available.
All right. We should head east.
I know we joked about it, but could I actually use stone cutting to figure out the best way?
Just
The
a second,
neutered
let me take a
version
look
of
at that.
current stone cutting. Yeah. I mean, sure, potentially. Dylan says it used.
You decide. I feel like you could probably. Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
His eyes so smart. Where the hell is it? That's how smart I am. Yes. 11.
The roll was the 11.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll do it'll technically be a history, so you'll get +2 on that.
Okay.
So 13. You feel the stonework. And there's something you are able to pick up on, but you can't quite get the feel of it. If you would like, you could take off one of your gloves and try to press your hand against the stone, and that might be able to give you a little bit more.
Yeah, you know what? Screw this slime. Let's do it.
All right. So you take one of the gloves off, you press it against the wall, and you're able to feel, as you're kind of like, you're going from one side and moving your hand across the stone, feeling to the other, you can feel where it's dry in one area, but as you're moving across, it's starting to get more mildewy and like wet. And you deduce that based on the wetness of the stone as you're moving in a certain direction, that is likely where there is some sort of source of flowing water. And if there is water flowing, then that is likely to be part of one of the main sewer channels, which you would be able to follow.
I'll relay that to the rest of the group then. And put my... I'm going to wipe my hand off on Dak's cloak and then put my glove back on.
All right.
Disrespect right there.
So then, you think
Can't
we
see me
should
do
be,
it.
You think we should be heading east then, or south?
The wetter stones did seem to be coming from the east.
Right. I think it would make sense then to head to the east. East is kind of where we want to be heading anyways. We want to head to the northeast. So as long as we do our best to maintain our general sense of direction, I think we should be good to just continue heading east until we can direct back up north.
Sounds good.
All right. Go ahead and get moving then.
A sense of would be the right.
Okay.
Caspian, there aren't any rumors of creatures down here, are there?
Not in these sewers, no.
It's just your generic level 1 rats, your average goblin.
Well,
Goblin,
you never know.
likely is a
You
denizen
hear
of the
stories in
area.
every city.
There was a frog at some point.
Yeah, it's always been more of a Sharn thing.
It's usually toads.
All right. Let's
Guards
go
would
ahead
talk about ghosts being in the sewers, but I mean, you gotta figure with criminal organizations like the ones that populate Sharn, a lot of them use the sewer systems for their activities, so
That isn't
mean,
to
it's pretty
say though that
explainable.
potentially the Warforged could not so likely benefit us to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
we should
it-
tread cautiously no matter.
It's also very echoey down here, so we should make sure that we're keeping
What?
the voices down.
What?
What about our voice?
All right,
My
let's-
cabbages!
let's continue heading east then.
All right, so you begin to make your way deeper into the sewer. I'm gonna see if my audio works. There we go.
So, when we were on our errands a few days ago, we went from the blacksmith back to the Cow's Eye. About how long was that walk?
That was. I want to say I remember it being like close to half an hour.
Okay. Just keeping that in mind, since that would be about the distance we would be wanting to travel to get at least to the east part of where we would end up meeting the King's Citadel. We would still have to head north.
Mm-hmm. And it is worth noting that the sewer line that you follow seems to travel in a relatively straight path, whereas when you were above ground, the actual
It's a bit
roadways
curvy,
did a
yeah.
little bit more weaving.
So maybe even just like a 20
So
minute walk.
it's possible that you'll shave off some time as you go through. as long as you don't run into anything.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Yeah. So you all, oh, there's no wood down here. You all
Waiting
make
for
your
that.
way
Because
deeper
Jeremy
and
didn't do his
deeper,
job.
deeper and deeper into the sewer tunnels. You can hear the slight dripping of water coming down from the ceiling. As you continue to walk, eventually you reach the end of this pathway, and you're actually able to see rushing water, a channel passing by you. And you reach another fork where you can either go straight forward or you can turn left or right. And looking down all three of these directions, you're unable to see far down them past like maybe 20 feet or so, before it becomes completely enshrouded in dark.
Well,
Around how long
so
have we
our
been
original
walking for?
path was the south or the east one?
East. We've been walking east.
Okay. So, inevitably
were we walking
from
for
around
just
the
like
blacksmith,
10
we will need
minutes?
to.
15?
You know that at least eventually we will need to head north.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's just weather. I think it's just the item that does that. I was hoping to look for the direction as well. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, you're attempting to go going east, took an east path, or you're attempting to then look north. We would want to go.
I'll say
Yeah.
this. Silva, would you say that you have been either actively or passively trying to keep track of time as the group has been walking?
I mean, I would say there's kind of a lot to pay attention to. I mean, so I would say a little bit more passively.
Okay. I want you to roll me a d20 at disadvantage. So basically just roll me 2 d20s.
Then a 13.
Okay. Second roll is 13. Plus your modifier. Yeah, okay. As the group has been walking through the sewers, you have been able to pick up, the sound of their collective footsteps, walking. Bum, 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 bum. And with everybody kind of walking at a similar pace, nobody really like picking up speed or reducing speed. As you've gone along, it almost becomes rhythmic. Bum, 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 bum. Not everybody walks at the exact same stride, but it's close enough that you could almost keep time to it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4.
This again.
And the time signature of their walking is in itself like keeping track of seconds. Which then becomes minutes. Which then becomes minutes. And so when you reach this fork, you feel this inclination come to you naturally. Some sort of latent, hidden feeling that just sort of immediately becomes stronger. and you are able to instantly recall that you have been walking for 18 minutes and 32 seconds. You don't know how you've been able to keep track of this information so efficiently, how it is so exact, but you are filled with this undeniable confidence that this is exactly how long you've been traveling for.
And where that would put us, I am sure.
Well, that's
you
the
relay
thing.
that time to the group?
Yeah, I mean, if we're work now, well, we have traveled.
Yeah, if that's how long we've been traveling, we should probably go ahead and head north then. Heading in a straight line, we've probably gotten pretty close to, the as far east as we need to go. We should go ahead and head north and see if we can come across a ladder leading us up, and that ladder should be near the King's Citadel.
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, I guess the time it takes to go from blacksmith to the Cow's Eye.
Make another D20 roll.
$14.
Oh dear. Music.
It's a little gremlin.
We're gonna stop there. 14. Okay. You think to yourself, okay, 18 minutes and 30. How long was it from Cow's Eye to the blacksmith? And your mind answers to you. You feel it. It's an innate feeling. And it comes to you naturally. That walk was 22 minutes, 14 seconds. And you think for a second, how do I know this? Why does this feel so clear to me?
That one at least is actually a little bit more explanatory. Just lived here at least at some point.
But it's more than that. There is a feeling that you're picking up on that is allowing you to sort of tap into the tempo of your surroundings, if you will. And it's a feeling that has been exacerbated by your sort of connection, where you were able to suddenly decipher the language of the Warforged. It's not something that you were able to do before recently, but as it occurs to you now, it feels like something that was within you all along that just needed to be tapped. There is a rhythm to the world, and it feels as though you can sense it better than anyone else can. With a successful rhythm check, 22 minutes, 18 seconds.
Then not too far from where Cow's Eye. Based on the map of the actual city, just past Citadel would be.
Yeah, so I think take a left, head north.
Okay. do it.
Head that way.
You continue onward, traveling north. The walls remain unchanged. The channel of sewer water flowing not too far from you. You do notice, though, as you walk, you begin to feel the slightest bit of an incline to the ground as it begins to lift ever so slightly as you travel. There is a sound you notice, sort of a scurrying noise at your feet.
I mean, I'll take a look as we're continue walking to see if I catch a glimpse of anything.
Make a perception check.
That is a 14.
Okay. You glance down as you walk, and you see, sort of scurrying alongside the party, a few stray rats, just sort of weaving in between everybody's feet. Some of them run flush up against the wall, using their whiskers to sort of keep in contact with the wall to let them know where they're traveling, while the others move more dangerously and freely, darting in between everybody's legs.
They like to
They like to live dangerously. One of them sort of, breaks off from the group a little bit, gets close to the edge to where the water is flowing, hears the sound of the water flowing towards them and stops and realigns himself with the group. And the rats just sort of continue to weave and move throughout. Set. Just as you're beginning to look back up out of the corner of your eye, one of the rats is moving a little bit differently from the rest of them, and that's because it's a human hand traveling along the ground. And confused, you look again, but it is just a rat with a bit of a gimp leg, struggling along as it goes. It's your choice as to whether or not you think anything of it, as the group continues to move onward.
Yeah, continue moving on as normal. But will almost, I would think almost instinctively from like their past experiences with, what they did for their house, they would almost like take like a cloth and just like wrap it around their face and nose to as kind of a pseudo face mask.
Gotcha. The incline of the ground continues to rise until you are all finding yourself almost on something of a ramp, moving upward steadily. Another 10 minutes or so seem to pass. And eventually, up above, ahead of you, you finally see another wall, and there mounted to the wall, very rusty, admittedly, but there is a ladder mounted to the wall, leading into a tunnel that goes up into the ceiling.
Try to peek at least a little bit at the very top by the grate.
Do you want to take the lantern with you so you can see?
As long as I can see the moonlight, I'll be able to at least not hit my head.
So I'm saying just so you can keep track of where you're going upwards.
Upwards is the left and right.
Fair enough.
The left and right is what gets you.
All right.
Float myself up there. Up. allowing the ladder to mainly kind of be my guide if I am in a slightly dark spot.
All right. So Silva, with the lantern, you begin to make your way up.
I don't
the
have a
tunnel.
lantern.
Don't have the lantern. You're going to be making your way up the tunnel. I need the rest of you to make me a perception check.
Do you want us to roll for the people we rolled for earlier as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. I
Nathaniel
have
got the 19 total.
Set got a 21.
Okay.
And Jack rolled the 1.
Right.
Total was whatever.
Johannes rolled a 17
Okay.
plus whatever modifier.
If you ever roll a 1 for Johannes, just remember, he's a halfling, right? Now, no.
It's halfling.
Halfling.
Yeah, so he'll still have to roll on the chart, but he gets that
Yeah, you can
reroll.
reroll once. You can reroll.
Speaking of the chart.
All right. Go ahead and give me that D100 number so I can check the chart here.
66.
Figure out how he died. 50.
666.
Why should I worry?
Can't be too mad at me. I gave him a pigeon.
Hey, you know what? I may have rolled you a 1, but I got you a pigeon.
And I think we all know that's the important thing here.
Which this was for Dak,
Is
correct?
it a living pigeon?
Yes.
Not here to answer that.
For Dak. Okay, cool. That's great.
Loses the pigeon.
That's great. Okay.
Oh God.
Nothing.
Yeah,
You're
people
not.
are-
I gotta write some stuff down here real quick. Please.
Comes back
please
like,
hold.
well, you rolled a 1.
Please
What happened?
hold.
You're not
Please
technically
hold.
nothing.
Can I just say, because this is a bit of a inherited thing. Y'all did people dirty sometimes. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
What do you mean?
No, I'm not. I refuse to elaborate. I'm just saying, y'all did some people dirty. If I elaborate, you're gonna know what I'm talking about, and I want this to be a surprise. Okay.
Rolls D100, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
They'll never
Chad
believe you.
D&D player.
I'll never.
Okay. Set, you said you rolled a 21, right?
Yes.
Great. You're the only one who matched the DC. Congrats on that.
Oh, lovely.
Also, I hate you. Okay. So
I rolled an 18. Like,
Dude, I'm playing Starfinder again on Thursdays. I don't know if you recall how rolls went in that fucking game.
yeah. Yes, I do.
You know what? At least we're not level 3, but still like on the reg rolling like a 27.
For sure.
That'd be coming from like a 14.
So as Silva goes up the ladder, Set,
yes.
those rats we were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
You've been keeping them just locked in the corner of your eye, and you see that when you get to the ladder, the group of rats kind of like, you know, they come over to the left a little bit, and they all just kind of stop in a little group, and they all watch Silva go up the ladder, and then they scurry off into the shadows. And as they do, one of them becomes a hand that is literally doing this as it horribly, disgustingly flops along the ground and disappears into the shadows with the rats. You are the only one who sees this.
Do I have the opportunity in seeing this to just like throw a dagger at it?
This is something that happens in seconds. The only reason you see it is because of your incredible perception.
Okay.
If you would like to throw a dagger at it, you absolutely can attempt to do so. The AC on this is going to be high. Just letting you know. This is a true test of your reflexes to notice this and be able to throw the dagger in that quickly of a moment.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna go for it.
Okay, absolutely.
Test your reaction speed.
23.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Result: fast as fuck, boy.
And that's 8 points of damage.
How do you finish the fight?
I literally just want to pin it to the ground. Like,
Absolutely.
just straight up skewer it, pin it to the ground, hold it in place so that I can go see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I can't. You rolled it. You rolled it.
gave him
Revenge
the
for
option.
dying in the first 2 episodes.
You gave him the option.
I guess I made you deal with spiders. Here's my comeuppance. All right. You throw the dagger with lightning speed. It's almost invisible as it just goes through the air. Ping! You hear the ting as it hits solid stone. You hear the squeaking of the rats as they more frenetically now run into the shadows. There's a sound of something struggling slightly and then silence again. Silva is already headed up the tunnel, but everyone else in the party would notice that you have just suddenly thrown a dagger out of nowhere.
I will start walking over to it. Actually, I will hand my lantern to Caspian and be like, please point this in the direction that I'm walking, and then like head over towards it with another dagger in hand and like
very good.
Walk over there.
They're smart. You hear that, audience? They're getting smarter. They're learning. I'll have to try harder. Okay.
Kill you later.
Get you later. As you move towards your dagger, which you can see in the off range of the lantern, you can see a very slight glint of the light reflecting off of the blade of the dagger itself as it sticks out of the ground at like a 45-degree angle, with something pinned to the ground. You approach the dagger and you get in to be just about a couple feet away from it, and kneeling down, you see that the dagger has something pinned to the ground that is unmoving.
I'll continue approaching it till I can get a good look at what
you kneel down and you look to see what it is, and you notice, to your surprise, pinned to the stone, a monarch butterfly. Beautiful golden wings, dampened by the air. One of them crushed in a little bit. Its thorax impaled to the ground, almost split fully. A monarch butterfly, dead, pinned to the stone.
I'll raise my hand and gesture like this towards Caspian. And just stay keeping it eyes locked on it while I just like.
Caspian moves silently. You feel him coming up next to you rather than hearing him. As he
see this?
Gets right in next with you, bends down and takes a look. A butterfly. Down here in the sewers.
It was a rat and then a hand. And now it's a butterfly.
It was a what?
It was originally a rat. Then it turned into a flopping hand, which is why I threw the dagger at it. And now it's a butterfly.
He looks at you concerned. This isn't the fumes getting to you, right?
I literally just gesture to the cloth that I have made as a face mask over.
Okay. Fair enough.
I got a glimpse of a rat turning into a hand earlier and made that same connection, so I made sure to mask up, but didn't think much of it until now.
Could be transfiguration, a tracker maybe.
What would this even be? Keeping it pinned to the ground, I will like reach out and hold my dagger while I like poke at it a little bit to see what happens.
The wings, I don't know if you've personally felt the wings of a butterfly.
Yes.
In real life. They have this incredibly velvety feel to them. Extremely light, very fragile.
Like shark skin.
And as you touch the wings of this butterfly, they feel like a dried up leaf. They crack and break at your touch.
This isn't right. This not to mention that it's a butterfly down here. This isn't even a butterfly. Can there be magic that can follow someone around like this and report back like a familiar or something?
It's not fully unheard of. It's almost druidic in its nature. If you don't mind, be a deer and make an insight check for me.
Insight. You've gotten your wish in me not rolling well anymore. That is
Great.
a 3.
Great. This had a remarkably low DC to it, and you managed to fail it anyway. So yes, I'm very happy. So
I just barely did not roll a nat 1. I rolled a 2. So
at the mention of the word druidic, there is a look that comes across Caspian's face. That is almost like fear, maybe.
Okay.
But it's so quick that you can't discern it any further.
I will prod at it a little more with my dagger before just pulling my dagger that I threw out and just looking over at Caspian and going, well, suffice to say, we need to hurry this up. This doesn't seem good.
Yeah, the sooner we get out of here, better. Hopefully Silva's doing all right.
Go
Silva.
make sure.
Meanwhile,
Uh,
up the ladder.
As you make your way up the ladder, the tunnel you are in slowly shrinks. The walls are coming in as you go. You begin to wonder how much the tunnel is going to shrink, especially if it was meant to be used to go down into the sewers in the first place. But before you can worry too long, uh, you are able to see up above you, about 20 feet ahead, a grate. And the
Man, it's just okay.
smallest bit of light coming through it.
They're unfortunately denser than I thought they would be. Hoping these would be more open in order to moisture. Nevertheless, try to peek through it as best I can. Otherwise, I can't very well then take in the sounds while I'm doing so.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and make a perception check yourself.
All right, it's an at 20.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
24 is the
Y'all
total.
are killing. Y'all are killing tonight.
Except for Deck.
Yeah,
We almost
you know.
killed him.
Yeah.
Think about it. We were potentially still killing.
Okay. You are able to perceive voices just outside of the grate. There's a hushed conversation happening. From the timbre of the voices, it appears to be two individuals. They are talking very quietly to each other, whispered, just outside of your visual range, but like right by where the grate is.
Do I hear what the conversation is at all?
Unfortunately, not.
Damn. But I cannot attain any form of spot of the area, or is the hole that it in there just too small?
So the grate itself, like the bars on the grate, are extremely thick, and so there's not actually like the openings in between the bars aren't very big. They're quite small. So you're able to see a little bit out, but it's like you're mostly seeing sky from your position.
Can't like do like the slide over to the back to like try and take a peek.
Unfortunately, from every angle you attempt, it's hard to see anything.
Damn,
So
you
this
guys ever
isn't
get a
an
nat 20
access,
and fail?
right?
Huh?
Did y'all ever get a nat 20 and fail before?
So this is more like a runoff drain than an actual like access that we entered.
Well, there's a
through, correct?
ladder though, so that would tell me there is. This 100% is. It wouldn't be an unopenable drain if there was no ladder here. The problem
Is
is
there a
my
ladder?
my ability to push the grate open. Also, whether or not that's a good idea is entirely on its own. It like blindly opening the grate is also entirely questionable. So that was the whole
I
reason I
mean,
wanted
like,
to look through it.
opening it up and then like kind of like sliding out to get a quick look at where you're at before like coming back in.
True, but opening a grate is I not always as conspicuous as it seems in the movies, or as they make it appear in the movies.
Well, yeah, and I mean, especially considering how rusted the ladder itself was, you can only imagine how much noise opening that grate would make.
So that's why I'm attempting to. And the fact that I can hear people is one thing, right? But
So here's the thing. You are at this grate right now. With your perception, you can perceive the voices of two individuals somewhere nearby.
Tell me I can investigate the voices. I will drive to Michigan and punch you.
Hang on. We're going even deeper. We're going even deeper into the matrix on this one.
And it's on the table still.
Actually, a performance check.
Violence is still on the table.
We're okay. I'm genuinely trying to think of how I want to phrase this.
So that you don't get punched.
How did you determine the time it took for you to travel from the blacksmith to the fort?
Footstep.
Rhythm check.
When we think about a humanoid,
Why was I presented then with the perception check?
when we think about a humanoid, there's a method to my madness, I promise. When we think about humanoids, is there anything else that they have about them that may have a natural rhythm?
Telling me I could hear the heartbeat.
If you would like, you can roll a rhythm check to see if you can detect the heartbeat of any individuals nearby.
I mean, I heard actual voices, right?
This is slightly different. There's different information that you can get from this.
Yeah, a person that's not talking still has a heartbeat.
That's one of the things.
Sure. Okay. 2.
Of course.
What? I got the nat 20 on the perception. What else do you want from me?
Incredible.
I can only do so much. I am but one human rolling dice.
Mm-hmm.
I got the sacred number and it failed me. What do you expect?
Fair enough. All right.
Dice giveth
Don't
and
act
the
like
dice
I
taketh
failed you.
away.
Okay. So you relax your thoughts. You close your eyes and you attempt to just focus. Focusing as much as you can on this feeling that's been becoming stronger and stronger. Still trying to make sense of it, still trying to comprehend it, understand it, see if it's something that can be just activated at any time. But it's not coming to you in the same way that it was when you were traveling in the sewer before. Something's blocking it. It's not... You're not able to just call it on command, it seems like, at the moment. For everyone else down in the sewers, Caspian looks to the rest of the group and says, well, I have to imagine that Silva's up near the top by now. Do we wait for a sign from her for her to return?
Oh. I think that would be a good idea. Jack, are you able to talk to Silva? Are you able to, like, reach out to her and do that brain talk thing you do?
I could try. Let me, and he just kind of like squints his face, just like focuses, thinks for a moment. Silva, you hear a small, quiet voice in the back of your mind. Silva, can you hear me? This is Dak. If you're not Silva, don't answer. But if you are Silva, hello. We're wondering if it's okay to go up.
I'll just
You
respond.
hear a second voice.
Okay. Ooh.
I think I see something. Is that what's that in the grate there? Some kind of light. What is that? You hear the sound of footsteps moving closer to the grate.
Who gave me a flash? Why? Yo, Dak, why is your sending ratting me out? What the hell?
'Cause
Mind you, like I said, not bring a light.
you don't have the lantern,
Yeah.
correct? You hear the sound of creaking as somebody grabs the grate and begins
when
to
I
pull
hear
it
the
aside.
voice in my head, am I able to start moving down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Am I just gonna sit there and just be like, "Oh, they couldn't mean me"?
Be different, Silva. I mean, he said not to answer.
I wonder who they're talking about.
I wonder who that sign's for.
So my response as I start going down is just going to be, "Someone's coming."
Enemies are coming.
Someone's coming. Just need to be low enough to not be grabbed.
Mm-hmm. You begin to make your way back down the tunnel. You hear the grate creaking above you as hands push it aside. And you can see above you as a figure puts two hands on the edge of the tunnel and looks down into it.
Did Silva say that?
My response to Dak was, "Someone's coming."
Would we have heard the grate go off, like the grate make noise when it was open?
Yes.
As soon as that noise goes off, hood on the lantern.
Okay.
Won't
A
matter if they have dark
face-
vision, but
A face peers down into the tunnel, Silva, and you're able to see it as you're descending.
I've got just get that feeling in your stomach, like when you are, in fact, like when you, like in real life, when you were trying to, like, if you're trying to do that thing where like you are trying to sneakily just hide from someone, even if it's just like coyly doing it to like a friend or just someone in that, like your parents when you were a kid. You're just trying to like sneak around and they see you and they just give you that look. Just that pit in your stomach. Shit. That's all, just like slowly, and now at this point I'm more just like slowly but quietly float down in case they don't have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for them to say anything when they stick their head in.
All of you can hear the voice reverberate down the tunnel and down into the sewers even, though it's granted not as clear. Hello? Are you the fairy?
Nope, just a witch girl.
You actually respond.
No one here but us rats.
I mean, again, like I kind of, I mean, I don't know. Do I see elf ears?
The figure responds back.
I mean, because they clearly saw me.
What?
Right?
The figure responds back, "The what?" And then two more heads poke down, looking into the tunnel.
Because they clearly saw me. They specifically called me out to say, "Am I the fairy?" So.
And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Yeah. Yeah. They it was one of the things of like, I think I had to respond because I was like, it was too specific to ask me, "Am I the fairy?"
So the next time that we convene,
yeah.
we will see who these figures are, and what it is they want with the fairy in question.
I'm the witch.
Maybe
girl.
we'll figure out what's going on with the rats.
I have
but
the
until
perfect
then-
alibi inherently, and it already kind of led to it. I already kind of hinted at it.
Until then, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And remember, if you're setting mouse traps, you want to set them up against the walls, as mice and rats will use their whiskers to help them to travel and guide alongside the walls when they are in especially dark spaces. If you're looking to get a butterfly, we'll see you next time.
But I'm a moth.